Just a quick video to show the replacement of the alternator on a BA BF 3 valve 5.4 V8. I wasn't able to find one on YouTube, so I thought I'd do a quick one for anyone who might be interested. So I'll give you a quick rundown of how to do it. It's a pretty easy job. First thing we're going to start with is the just disconnecting the battery. As you can see here, I've got the standard old pole to keep the bonnet up, because typical of any Falcon in the B series, these gas struts tend to get weak over time. So here we go. I'll try to make it as easy and simple as possible for you. Just a bit of disclaimer, I'm no mechanic, I'm just a YouTube mechanic. That'll be good enough. Okay, first thing we're going to need to do is take the drive belt, give it some slack so we can get it off the alternator itself. Just got a socket in there. I'm going to push that down to create the slack, and that'll be enough to actually allow me to take the drive belt off the alternator itself. See if I can get some stability here. Simple as that. Yeah. Okay, next thing we need to do is obviously remove the electrical plugs. I've already sort of slightly got this up here. Be careful, everything gets pretty brittle on these BFs when it comes to electrical plugs over time. Well, mine's only done a short amount of Ks really, considering, and it's in good nick, but still things get brittle with heat over time. Okay, basically you've got this nut here that needs to come off, and the electrical plug at the back needs to be pulled out. Righto. Okay, it looks just like a, should be a 10 mil. Yep, it is. I always just put my screws back on there just to make sure they don't get lost. Okay, might just need a small flathead screwdriver to put some pressure on that. There's a little tab on the back of the actual connector itself. You see here, just need a flathead screwdriver. Just going to push a little bit on that with the flathead and it just should easily come out. Let's move that across to the side so it stays out of your way. Alright, this hose here, just going to move that over to the back. Okay, you might be able to see, we need to get that screw, that screw, that screw, and that screw. Loosen those ones first, so that's what I'll do. And of course, I've got the wrong size. Thought it was 10 mil, but it's not. Right, the wrong size as well. One more That there's just a lesson in putting your sockets back in the right slot. It's actually a 10mm, but I was trying to use an imperial socket. Alright, so just give everything a quick loosen off first. Don't always take it right out. Obviously I've already taken off the engine cover first. Mine's in really good nick. It's got no cracking on the silver part, but I'll show you that quickly. Obviously you're going to have an engine cover that looks something like this here that's going to sit over the top. It's just the 4 10mm bolts that screws that come out first, and just remove that first, give you good access and put it somewhere safe. Alright, this top bracket for the alternator should easily come off now. Just put it away, put it aside, somewhere where you won't lose it with the screws. Alright, now the next 2 screws that we want to get actually located here and here. Same again, just 10mm socket. We'll get those ones off nice and easy. Same again, I'll just crack them first just to make sure everything comes off pretty easily. Reason I'm changing my alternator, I was getting a fair bit of alternator whine through my stereo in these things, and not only that, once the battery was getting low, it seemed to always be draining something in these Fairlanes for some reason. But yeah, even when I jump start it, it wouldn't remain charged enough to even keep the car running. So these cars are pretty prone to getting sort of all sorts of electrical or issues and misfires and bits and pieces if the battery's weak or the alternator's not so good. Just a bit of YouTubing for a 3-valve V8, we'll find all sorts of common issues these have. They're not seen to be so bad in Australia, but really important to keep the oil changes up to these things and put good quality oil in there. This one's only done 167,000 Ks, but I've recently replaced the spark plugs probably within the last 1,000 Ks. I've done the coil packs as well. I replaced the cam position sensors, which are just located down here. I was getting a code on there which was saying cam position sensor fault, which could have a lot to do potentially with the cam phasers in the front of these motors. Could cause all sorts of issues as well. So just to chase it, this one's in pretty good nick, but next thing to tackle was the alternator, just to make sure there's no problem there. No, I didn't test it first, but the alternators are pretty cheap. I paid for an OEX one, I've paid 355 bucks, of course. But Repco keep them, 445 bucks online. Ford for their one wanted $805. I've just gone with the OEX brand one. I can't see the point of paying $804 for a genuine Ford part. There's just no way that it could be double the quality of the OEX brand, which generally have been pretty good to me over the time. In fact, with those there, you don't actually even really need to take them completely out. Righto, and as simple as that, just lifting it straight out, easy lift. See there, I took that bolt out, really didn't need to. I could have just loosened it off and it'll just lift straight out anyway. Now with these alternators here, pretty much they're the same ones that they use on FPV, the BA, BF, Boss motors, probably even a few more. So, oh, you can even hear that. You can even hear the clutch pulling in there. It's absolutely sounds pretty stuffed, to be honest. Okay, so this one hasn't been, no oil's dripped on it or anything like that, based on the position of where it is in the motor, but yeah. Righto, time to chuck the new one in. Okay. Again, I've just gone for one of these OEX ones, so I've used them a couple of times before, never had an issue with them. Everything's made in China, so it won't be any different. One of these, if you go to the OEX ones, all you're looking for is that AXA 970, okay, 12 volt, 135 amp. Yeah, no work, no worries at all. Okay, like I said, I paid $355 for this one here, brand new from Auto Spares Box, or whatever spares box in Australia. Sent it out within a couple of days, so it was pretty good. I tried to go and support a local shop first, but they wouldn't match the price, so I don't know about you guys, but I'm not in the habit of burning money. I'll just chuck this screw back in here. Make sure when you do all of this sort of stuff that you just make sure you got the thread right. You don't want to cross thread anything and do any further damage. So, all right, straight out of the box, it's just a matter of sitting it straight down onto here. Okay. Generally, I just try to get everything just a little bit finger tight first, so it gives me a little bit of ability to make sure all the top brackets, etc., line up. So next one that's going to go on is the top bracket. Righto, once I've got that bracket on, just make sure everything's sitting there nice and snug. Okay, get as far as I can do by hand. Now I'm going to start with the bottom bolts first, obviously, and tighten those ones up. Now, I know there's a torque specific setting for these, but it's not, I mean, gosh, that critical. All I would say is just tighten it up so you know it feels right in your hand. No need to, as with anything with an engine, apart from certain things, there's no need to absolutely tighten it so damn tight that the next person rounds the top of the screw or bolt off. Next time they have to get it off. So okay, that'll be snug enough, tight enough. Okay, it's not moving now, it's not really nice. And all I have to do now is I'm just going to use the where they came off in the first place as a reference. Again, it's alloy, we don't really want to tighten it down so tight that it strips anything internally in these parts. Check everything moves freely, clutch is working well, and that one there. Righto. Sorry guys, there's no way that you could consider me a cameraman of any kind. You get the idea, I think. Righto, electrical plug back in, of course, because I've got the right part. It just sits in there. You'll know it's sitting and it's seated well because you'll hear the click there. Okay, again 10mm bolt, screw off. Okay, you can see what I'm working on there. Again, everything should just be snug. You don't need to tighten the crap out of it. Push this black down in here. Just watch it like these. What I'm talking about can end up being very brittle. So again, I just used a set of pliers underneath there to just gently pliers that up first. I didn't want to actually pull it up this way first and potentially crack and break that. So it's just a matter of pushing that back down there. It's snug down on there now. I always just check all of these things, give them a push back just to make sure they're not being crimped or squashed by anything. And now all we have to do is just get that drive belt back on there. So first off, you just want to make sure it hasn't come off anything vital down there. Okay, all right, and we're just going to use our bar again to create some slack and lift it back onto the actual alternator itself. It's just a matter of pushing down. Okay. As you can see, need to be careful because it's come off ones down the bottom, so just bear with me a little bit here. I'm going to move this to the side while I get it right. It's on there properly. It's on there properly. Let's see if we can lift it up and keep it on there. Okay, that's seated on there properly. Look down here. Righto. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Everything's seated properly. I'll just have quick checkers underneath to make sure that's sitting properly on the crankshaft pulley. Alright, it's all looking pretty good down there. Remember to remove any of your tools. Okay. Righto, everything's firmly nicely seated, everything's back in the place where it's meant to be. Last thing I'm going to do is obviously redo my battery. Righto guys, that's the alternator replaced on a BA / BF 5.43 valve V8. It's as simple as that. Well, probably if I hadn't been trying to be as clumsy and try to film this for you, that I would have had it probably done easily in 5 to 10 minutes. But simple job. Just make sure all the belts will go back on properly. Remember, don't tighten up your belt, your bolts or your screws here so damn tight that it strips it out inside, or makes it so tight that after heating cycles and bits and pieces that it is ridiculously hard to get out. Some of you might want to use a little bit of Loctite or something on that. I don't believe they had any on there previously, but it is what it is. So simple job, rather than paying somebody a couple of $100 in labour or whatever they charge these days. It's just a simple matter of paying $355 to $445 for the alternator itself, and getting a few tools out. Everything was a 10mm socket, and job was that simple. Alright, thanks for watching guys, take care, see ya. Alright, just a bit of an update. I've just started the car because obviously my battery was pretty flat due to it not being charging, but I must have been on the money a little bit with the alternator, because previously with the old alternator in there, as soon as I jump started it and took the power from the jump starter off the powering vehicle, it would die straight away, and as soon as I took the leads off, the engines remained going, so pretty good sign that the alternator was absolutely shot out. I don't know what I do with that one there, whether it could be repaired or not, but realistically, is it worth it? So yeah, she's running pretty sweet. Last thing that you need to do is obviously put the engine cover back on. I like to have mine on, but then I'm also a little bit concerned about it peeling. So, but that's it guys, nice simple job to do, and I haven't checked to see whether it's fixed the whining in the audio system there. Probably something I could have a quick squiz at. Ah, that's right. Yeah, I think I might check it again another time. Get my phone out and put some tunes through, but it's even sounding a little bit better now. Let's give it a bit of a... For those who might be interested in my G8 Fairlane, it's the second one I've owned of these. I was pretty lucky, I found it by accident from a guy down in Warwick in Queensland, and yeah, I'm absolutely stoked with it. Love my XR8, but this is my pride and joy. I don't think I'll ever let go of this one. I really like the G8 Fairlanes, the last of them, and there's not many around. Anyone that has a BF or a BA Fairlane, I've seen the aftermarket ones, but I prefer the stock look. So all I did was fitted one of these things down here. I did it on my last G8 Fairlane as well, and it seems to work pretty well. And it still pretty much retains the stock feel of the car. Sorry, she's pretty dirty, but that gives you an idea what she looks like anyway. Alright, again, thanks guys for watching. Hope someone gets some sort of benefit out of it. If not, you know, nothing gained, nothing lost. Alright, cheers guys, catch ya.